Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I'm doing an account progression video, just kind of showing where my account is at these days. The last time I did this was 613 days into my account. It has since been a bit. I am now at 735 days or 2 years. 5 days, which is pretty wild. So as usual, there are timestamps in the description below. Let's start off with that profile. I am up to 1.8 million base hero rating, so climbing up a little bit, looking to break that 2 million when I can. I'm at just a little over 12,000 prestige. I could actually bump that up quite a bit by investing my signature stones, but I'm playing the long game. I'm trying to get like a silver surfer dupe as well as a Namor dupe, and then invest in those long-term prestige rank ups. In the meantime, cresting 12k is really nice. It's a nice satisfying feeling to say I'm past 12k rather than saying like 11.8 or 11.9. Top 4 looking pretty good. The biggest thing I always like to show here is the number of PvP fights won at 134,694. I'm currently at 183.25 PvP fights won per day. That means I am logging 183 fights on the daily. So if you're ever wondering like, hey Jay, are you a whale? The answer is yes, but I'm also a grinder. So I do take a lot of pride in the amount of arena grinding I do. I do feel like my average is going down a little bit. I think at one point I was like 196 or something, but part of that is just when you have more ranked up champions, you hit milestones faster, so you don't need to push as many fights on the daily. Next up is my current mastery setup. As always, I'm running full attritions. I run 5 points in Mystic Dispersion on the regular just because I like using Claire a lot, and I run 3 points in Willpower, 1 point in Coagulate just for the giggles. Beyond that, nothing crazy. I do have Deep Wounds fully unlocked. I have, I think, 4 out of 5 for Assassin unlocked. So I've got all the major masteries unlocked and I can switch over when I need. I just don't like to if I don't have to. Next up is roster. I am very safely in the 6-star meta, very heavily so. I'll peep through the 5-star roster pretty quick. I have done a few 5-star rank ups semi-recently. I've done the Guardian rank up semi-recently. I did Daredevil Hell's Kitchen because I had a skill 4 of 5, so why not? I did sig up Hulkbuster. I think he is now Sig 200. That's because he sits on defense as well. So nothing crazy. I don't do a lot of 5-star rank ups. I did Angela semi recently because I did have a 4 to 5 Cosmic as well, and I do think her Sig 200 is valuable, so I'll be Sig 200ing her there. I think that relatively so, the 5-star can have more value than a low Sig or unduped 6-star, and that really is what drives my logic in ranking up 5-stars. It's very rare for me to rank up a 5-star. Either I don't have them as a 6-star or don't value the 6-star unless they're very high Sig. That's the only real time I'm investing in a 5-star these days. But every once in a while, you do find yourself with excess resources. More importantly, though, is where my 6-star roster is at these days, and it is looking pretty spicy. So I have 6 rank 3 6-stars, and so it is that top line there, and so this is what pushed my prestige past 12k. Claire is Sig 60. That is all natural, thankfully. So that was really nice. I haven't invested a single Sig. Elsa is Sig 80, I believe. That was forced. I did dupe her naturally, but then I put a decent amount of Sigs in there just to help keep my prestige a little on the competitive side. Ghost is Sig 180. I've duped her twice, but I did bring her up to 160 with signature stones because if you've seen, I do have a Ghost signature ability evaluation video, just kind of breaking down what each set of Sigs really means to Ghost, and I did find that the 140 to 160 range, for me 160 in particular, makes a really big difference, especially when you're dealing with like extra power gain on the opponent or you're using her in war. Securing SP2 before the opponent can get to an SP1 can make a huge difference in war. Next up is Captain Marvel Movie, who I've brought up to Sig 60. This is kind of the relative sweet spot. Sig 40 to 60 is the sweet spot for return rate on her invulnerability. I will consider investing more, but I'm really trying to hold out to dump Sigs into Silver Surfer. It's not a big big difference in prestige, but if I can get there, I'm holding the Surfer down here at rank 2. Next up is Omega Red, sitting at Sig 100. I could invest more. I've got a lot more Sigs too, but I showed on my Omega Red signature evaluation that every 20 SIGs on pure optimal play with Sabertooth Synergy, keeping degens up permanently, staying at 30 spores, like really optimal play, is only like a 9% increase. So if I dumped another 100 SIGs, we're looking at like a 45% increase on optimal play. And the truth is that you don't have optimal play with Omega Red, so it's actually like less than 45% by a substantial amount. And the reality is at 100 sig, he just crushes fights so fast. If I was pushing Masters and was using Omega Red on the regular, I would probably sig him up to 140, 160, just in case I dupe him a couple times. I don't want to see, max sigs, because you don't really get anything for those. But I would push him up a little bit higher if I was pushing a Masters War with him. But because I don't use him very often, I think Sig 100 is good enough for the rare instance I do end up using him. I recently took up Warlock to rank 3. Most of these top champs all the way down to Venom are rank 2. And then there's this just cheeky little Rhino. This is one I'm proud of. I just rank 2'd Rhino today. And I don't quite have a 6-star Science Cat, a T5cc. But when I form it, if I haven't pulled Immortal Abomination and I don't have Science 6 stones and Overflow, I might rank 3 this guy for defense. And I realize how terrible that sounds, but I'm like crazy excited. 6-star roster is really good. I'll come back and evaluate that after we talk about upgrade resources. So for upgrade resources, I want to first go over signature stones. So I have a pretty good amount of signature stones just in bank. So for generics, I have 52 of the 6-star SIGs, and then I've been holding on to a pretty good amount in each class. So I've got a little bit of Cosmic, a little bit of Tech. I've got a decent chunk of Mutant because I'm really trying to like sig up a Namor for Prestige, ideally. The skill ones went into Elsa because I felt like that was a good long-term investment. I got some good Prestige, and now I can start holding on to them for like a better Prestige rank up, ideally like Nick Fury, maybe Kingpin or something along those lines. Science is the class I've been hoarding all of them. I could dump them into Thing if I wanted to rank 3 Thing for Prestige, and from a Prestige argument, that is the best logic. I just still haven't formed a T5cc, and part of me wants my Science rank up to be either a Defender for rank 3, and if I rank up Thing, there's just very, very, very low chance that he'll end up being placed on defense. So then I have this rank 3 champion that I just don't use and is only a Prestige champion, since I would just use my 5-star until Thing is Sig 200, and Science being a very Sig Stone, Sig level like reliant class. I want to save those signatures for someone, even if they're only rank 2, where I feel like they would have higher value, like Cap Infinity War or Void, etc. Maybe even like a Red Guardian tentatively. And then Mystic I'm holding on as well for that prestige value, looking at like Doom, maybe Sorcerer Supreme. We got a host of gems. Nothing crazy. Now, the major resource I want to talk about is T5cc. And that is because I don't know why my head itches right now, but I'll try to resist because I know it pops up. So T5cc, I'm sitting on a Cosmic, a Mutant. We're still close to forming a Science. I have a Skill and I have a Tech. So I've got every class except for Mystic pretty much that I need to start thinking about. I'm still a ways away from Science, but hopefully with the Nexuses we can pull there. So for Science, I already mentioned I'm looking at Rhino for rank 3 for defense. So let me just let that one simmer. I know I got better options, but I don't feel like I ever need Torched for the extra stats, and if I do, the boosts work. Even in the Masters, the couple of Tier 1 wars I did, 6-star Torch just blasted them. I never felt like I needed extra stats, so I just don't, while I think there's a lot of value there, I would rather have a perma rank 3 Rhino on defense. I just, I'll let that one simmer. But for this skill, I've been told to rank through my Nick Fury, but I'm relatively close to forming another skill catalyst. I think I'm like halfway there, and I'd rather have a rank 3 for a champion like I don't use already. So I'm really eyeballing Kingpin, but there is a part of me that is just waiting to see maybe in the next month or so if I can pull a skill dupe. It just drastically changes my opinion, because Prestige could go a long way there. But if that doesn't happen, then I might just very slowly start like rank 2 my Kingpin, playtest him and see. Kingpin might go to rank 3 if I really like him, because I'm super enjoying that Kingpin with Mr. Sinister playstyle. It's a lot of fun, and there's definitely a lot of use. So I'm eyeballing it. For Mutant, I already mentioned I'm really thinking Namor. Part of me is thinking Emma Frost for defense, because she does sit as a rank 3 as defense. The only thing is she doesn't really have a lot of lethality, so probably not. And I do think her awakened ability does make a really big difference if you can high sig her. Not enough so that I think it's better to have a rank 5 5-star dupe than it is to have a 6-star, but like a high 6-star sig would be really good, and I just don't know if I could invest 6 stones in Mutant when I've already dumped 100 into Omega Red. Like, I really need my next Mutant rank up to be like a prestige option, like Gold Pool or Namor or something. So maybe I'll go back to fishing for more Gold Pool crystals. That's going to be painful. For Cosmic, I'm looking at Silver Surfer without a doubt. I'm pretty close to having 2 Cosmic T5CCs, which I'll be holding on to, because I don't foresee myself rank 3ing any of these other champions unless they get a major buff. For Tech, I just recently did Warlock to rank 3. I'm weird. I know Guillotine 2099, Mysterio, Hulkbuster, these champs are worth rank 3, but I don't use them enough. I contemplated Mysterio, but I don't know if he'll see more value once this set of Alliance War nodes changes. And Guillotine 2099, you want to ramp her. So if she's too high rank, then you end up ending fights before you can reset your SP3. And then you end up having to re-ramp, and it just actually is worse. And then when she is ramped, she hits so hard that you don't feel like you need the extra stats. So at least until content reaches a point where I feel like Guillotine 2099 isn't running into that reset issue, she's going to stay at rank 2, where I just think it's a little more efficient. The only flip there is if I start using Guillotine 2099 a lot in War, then I would rank 3 her, because you only ramp her once and then you just save her for like a boss fight or something. So that is something I would consider. And then finally, Mystic. I'm so far away, we're not even thinking about it. And then last on the video is static progression. I have 100% Abyss, and I have recently done Act 6 exploration. That is such a feel-good. I always like to show this memery of not having Act 1 and 2 and 3 explored, because who's got time for that? And I've only done a completion run of Book 2, Chapter 1, or Act 7 for what you say. So I'll be working on that pretty soon. I have all of the first 6 variants completed, but I do not have variant 7 completed, because that literally just came out and I just was working on Act 6 instead. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So I don't have a ton of content to clear left. So pretty soon I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs wondering what to do. But for the meantime, I still got plenty of content. As always, though, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.